Before this video starts and before we get into the excitement of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5, I would be remiss if I did not give a huge shout out and thank you to David Prowse, the one and only Lord Vader himself. I send my condolences to David's family and his fans everywhere. I know that this is a huge loss for the Star Wars community, and I just have to say that and express my sorrow at his loss before getting into the excitement of this video. I don't want it at all to come across insensitive to this loss in the Star Wars community at all, and I just wanted to express and share my grief with the rest of the fandom because I know that this is a huge loss for us Star Wars fans. And so David Prowse, may the Force be with you, and thank you so very much for bringing us one of the most iconic characters ever, Lord Vader himself. I don't know how to properly even start this video, so without further ado, we need to just get right into it. Guys, there's no way for me to preface this video. We just have to talk about it. Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. It is Kat here. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that you could be here on this momentous occasion. We've got a lot to cover today. There is a lot of ground to cover, but the Star Wars history that we all just lived through. I have chills just talking about it. Maybe because it's 66 degrees in my house right now. Maybe because I'm still not processing what we just watched. What just happened this week? What Disney Plus, what Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni just dropped on us. I just can't. I can't. Alrighty folks, as you can probably guess, the main talking point here, of course, is going to be our queen in the flesh, the one, the only, live-action Ahsoka Tano. Before I get into debriefing and sharing my thoughts about the wonderful and amazing and gorgeous and ethereal Rosario Dawson, I should start by noting that I have never been opposed to or nervous about the prospect of Ahsoka Tano crossing over into the live-action canon of the Star Wars universe. In fact, if anything, you guys know, if you've watched any of my videos, I have been rooting for, like, Ahsoka Tano to cross over into the live-action realm and make an appearance in a film or a series. I would say I've wanted that pretty much ever since I saw her in Clone Wars, because she is so worthy and deserving of being welcomed to the live-action, fan base and into the live-action realm as one of the most well-written and iconic and beloved characters of her era in Star Wars. And again, for the reason that she just deserves to be a more well-known name amongst, Star Wars, the fandom, who maybe didn't watch the Clone Wars or Rebels. And so I have been rooting for her to, make it into the live-action ranks. I need to say that off the bat because I know that there were people who had trepidations about that. People, have been expressing all along some fear / concern / worry about, stuff that might get lost in translation and kind of the magic of animation not crossing over fully into, live action format. There were definitely people who were nervous about this. I have to acknowledge that. I will be the first to admit, there is absolutely no question that some storylines are better left untouched in their animated form, aka Avatar: The Last Airbender. We all know what happened with that. Live action isn't always better, I will 100% admit that. However, I have a lot of trust in Dave Filoni and his standards, as well as Jon Favreau's, like I keep calling them, the dream team. I really do put a lot of faith in them. Maybe too much, but I think, they have a clear vision, obviously. And I went into this having confidence in the fact that Ahsoka Tano is Dave Filoni's literal baby. And I had faith in the fact that they would not even consider introducing or bringing in a character as iconic as her into this show, into the live action realm, if they were not capable of doing it right and doing it to even better than their own standards. Because that is what Ahsoka Tano deserves. She deserves to be done to better than the best of our ability when it comes to, you know, television. Dave Filoni, like, is aware of that, and he was going to do this right, and he was going to, you know, treat this character with, like, the respect that we all have for her. Like, she's his baby. Like, I had faith in the fact that they wouldn't even think of introducing Ahsoka at all if they weren't gonna get it right. And so I will just say now, I had absolutely no disappointment at all. I was just in total and complete shock and awe throughout the entirety of the episode. It just did not feel real. It really just did not feel like real life watching this. Like, it just, to Rosario Dawson, I cannot say enough praise and congratulations in regards to her her performance. She's legend, absolute queen, elite legend status. I think it is so evident in her performance that she did the research in order to fully become Ahsoka Tano. I think it is clear that this is not just a job to her, and that she actually, like, knows who this character is and wanted to do it justice. I think it is so evident that she put in the work to master Ahsoka Tano's composure, her temperament, her poise, the way she carries herself, the way she moves, like her movements, her mannerisms, her choreography, the way she fought, everything about her felt so, like, studied and particular, and it really just felt like that is how Ahsoka Tano would look and if she were real, if she was a real life thing. And I have to note that even though she opened her mouth and it wasn't Ashley Eckstein's voice that came out, that, like, surprisingly did not bother me. I will admit, going into this, I had, you know, fears and trepidations about seeing a live action Ahsoka Tano but not hearing her iconic voice. Like, that is her trademark. Going into this was kind of hoping, while acknowledging that this was maybe too much to ask for, but, like, secretly hoping that they would maybe pull a Sam Witwer / Ray Park and, you know, have Ashley Eckstein's voice. In all honesty, and I'm not just saying this because I, like, am afraid to, like, diss Rosario Dawson or anything, I truly, like, mean this, and I'm relieved that not hearing Ashley Eckstein's voice, as much as we all love and adore her and praise her like she is queen forever, but not hearing her voice truly did not bother me as much as I thought it was going to. Somehow Rosario Dawson's natural voice felt very fitting. Like, again, you can tell that she, like, knows and has studied the character of Ahsoka Tano and, you know, knows what she's supposed to sound like, knows her voice. It just felt appropriate. Like, even though it wasn't Ashley Eckstein's voice, it in no way, like, disassociated me or detached me at all or made me feel like that's not Ahsoka because it doesn't sound like her. It just, again, it shows that she knows who this character is, knows how much we all love her, knows how she moves, knows how she sounds, knows, you know, the aspects that make her iconic, and she, like, put in the work to deliver. So yes, I just have to acknowledge Rosario Dawson, wherever you are, we love you. You are a goddess. You're amazing. We owe you such a huge thanks for bringing one of our favorite characters ever to life. It just felt so surreal. I can't even describe what it felt like to, like, see her on the screen. It just felt like a dream. It really did not feel like real life at all, and I'm so relieved that I was, you know, satisfied with it and in no way at all disappointed. And if anything, I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, and we need, like, an Ahsoka Tano show now. Like, why did it take this long to bring her into the live action canon? And I know that there's drama about her look and the accuracy of her, like, appearance. I've seen, you know, kind of complaints going around about the costuming and that it didn't exactly look quite right, or that it's not, you know, complete replica of how she appears in the Clone Wars or in Rebels. But, you know, based on the in-depth look that we get behind the scenes in the gallery of The Mandalorian, you know, the behind-the-scenes docuseries that shows literally how much they try to work smarter and not harder on that show. It's clear from what we have seen of the behind-the-scenes process and design and technology that every decision has a purpose. So if her appearance is not an exact replica of how she looks in Clone Wars, then I would say clearly that's just an indication that it just wasn't possible or practical to get it exactly the way that it looks in the cartoons / animation. And again, I say that knowing that, you know, if Dave Filoni could have her look exactly like how she looks in Clone Wars or Rebels, then of course he would. But the fact that she, you know, maybe doesn't is clearly an indicator that it's maybe just not humanly possible or practical. I thought she looked amazing. I think Rosario Dawson is like beautiful, and so I thought she just looked so like natural to me. I will also say, like, I don't know if I would feel this way if it had been a total secret and if we had absolutely no rumors or leaks at all that Ahsoka Tano was going to be an alleged cameo in this season. I don't know if I would be receiving it this well if I had been like shocked with her appearance, but I do think it really helps that like the rumors were out, like we knew and we're preparing ourselves for the fact that like this was going to be a thing. I really think it helped that we had that rumor. We had been preparing ourselves. We had been seeing like images going around of Rosario Dawson as live action Ahsoka to kind of like prepare us and give us an idea of how that would look. Yeah, I just think that's worth noting. Like, I think it definitely was good that this was like rumored so that we could all like brace ourselves for it and be ready and have an idea of like, okay, what is live action Ahsoka gonna look like versus if they had just like thrown her upon us out of nowhere. I definitely was not expecting them to introduce her in the first 5 seconds of the episode. Like, I truly thought we were gonna have to wait and that maybe they were gonna just pull a Force Awakens and have her show up at the end for like 30 seconds. Because I'm just so afraid that that's what they're gonna do now with every like special rumored cameo, but it's fine. I just picturing Dave Filoni being like, okay, we just have to open with Ahsoka. Just get her out right away as soon as you can. Just give her to the fans. Alright, that's my thoughts on Ahsoka Tano. And again, as I always stress, I in no way, shape, or form ever want my opinions to like make you feel like I'm trying to convince you out of yours or anything like that. I don't want anyone to think that, you know, just because I liked her appearance doesn't invalidate the fact that you might not have. It's totally fine. I understand that there's a lot of mixed opinions going around right now, but I just want to send full power and respect to Rosario Dawson for being amazing. She killed it. She really did so awesome. Alright, moving on from the talk of Ahsoka Tano, because I know there was a lot of other things that also happened in this episode. I'm low-key honestly like a little bit sad that Baby Yoda has an actual name now, because clearly I just, out of habit, will never, I don't think, stop calling him Baby Yoda. But Grogu is such a cute little name and it's growing on me. But also the fact that we finally not only learned his name, but learned his history and the fact that he was around. I don't know, I just love knowing now that he's like such a historical little creature for like the Star Wars like storyline, and that like a lot of other people in the Star Wars universe, he's unfortunately like gone through like so much tragedy and like heartache and sadness. It obviously makes him like way less of a mystery now and kind of alleviates, you know, the fact that he maybe was just like there for like the cuteness factor originally and we knew nothing about him and he was just there to attract a new audience and get people hype with his cuteness. But like, no, he's more than that. He's more than his looks, guys. He's more than just the adorable little baby that we all love. Like, he is historic. He has this like tragic baggage. And I know that they will never do this. Like, this is 1000% not going to happen, but it does just open up the possibility for some like interesting flashbacks. Like if Mando takes him to the stone and there's like a scene where he like, Baby Yoda or Grogu sees all of his, you know, past or has like flashbacks to his memories, and it were to show like a memory of him hiding in the Jedi Temple while Anakin is like storming in during Order 66. Like, they won't do that. Like, I know that's not gonna happen, but like the fact that it's a potential possibility, like, is exciting now that we know like his history and we know that like this opens up so many new possibilities. Like, now I want to know who smuggled him out of the temple. Like, I just want to know. Speaking of Anakin, I'm sure you guys know by now, I freaked the flip out at just the mere allusion to Anakin, as Ahsoka mentioned, you know, that one Jedi Knight that we can all clearly interpret as her master, Anakin Skywalker. I wish Ahsoka had just name dropped him. She was this close to just saying his name. I was legit just on like the edge of my seat, like just say it. Just say his name. His name is Anakin, please. Just speak it into existence. I need to hear it. Of course, that would have been too good to be true, but just the mere, like, discussion of him and the fact that she, like, hinted to him. I wasn't even expecting that. That would be too good to be true, but even still, it was so just, like, bone-chilling and eerie, and it's just like, I just can't believe that this is the show, this is Mandalorian. Like, again, I never even thought that we would even be discussing or hinting at or alluding to Anakin. Again, speaking of more name drops, like all of the name dropping that happened in this episode, the fact that she talked about Yoda, like that's another name I never thought I would hear in this show. Like, I just love where this show is going to like tie in the prequel love, and then the fact that she mentioned Thrawn. Now, I know we have to discuss this because this opened up like a whole realm of discussion in regards to, you know, where the storyline is going to be. Do I think that the name drop of a character inevitably means that they are going to make an appearance later on in the season or even later on in the show in its entirety? Not necessarily. As exciting as it was to like hear Thrawn's name and, you know, consider the possibility of him appearing down the line, I think maybe that would just make things too busy. Like, I think they know that would be too much. Sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, I feel like, especially, you know, with all the cameos and name dropping that has been going on throughout this season. It's like, I don't know, we don't want to overflow the excitement. We want to be able to cherish every little bit of it. And so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Thrawn. I really don't think it's going to happen though, and I really feel like if it were, like, that has to be the biggest kept secret. Like, I don't think they would be able to keep that secret for the entirety of the season without something getting leaked. I don't know. But I would not write off the possibility that he could, you know, potentially appear down the line in a later season or a spin-off series of some sort. You know, maybe they'll see like how successfully Ahsoka Tano was, you know, received amongst the fan base. Like, this has become, what, the #1 rated episode of the entire series in The Mandalorian on IMDb. Like, clearly they're going to acknowledge the fact that, like, this was such an exciting and, you know, like, fan favorite episode, and so I really do think that, you know, just because she name dropped Thrawn, I don't think we need to get ahead of ourselves. I really don't think it's going to happen within this season, but I feel like, you know, it could be the little bait at the end of the season to tease, you know, a third season or even a spin-off show or something like that. The soundtrack of this episode was just so unbelievably incredible and so unlike anything that we've like heard in this show so far. I feel like, in my opinion, it was like so reminiscent of like the prequel era like tunes and sprinkled in with like the Clone Wars vibe. It had this like beautiful melancholy twinge to it. Like, it had all of these inflections of like epicness paired with sadness that like perfectly kind of evokes Ahsoka Tano's like tragic baggage, and it had all of these inflections of like her kind of like sad history in it that totally, you know, reflect her storyline for, you know, viewers who maybe didn't watch the Clone Wars, but with the music, hearing it like could easily like paint the picture and like tell a story of like, okay, clearly this character like is obviously important but also has like this kind of melancholy like background. But yeah, the music, absolutely amazing as always. And clearly I can't do one of these reviews now without talking about the vibes, but in terms of this episode's vibes, I was getting like Rogue One vibes with this new city that they introduced. I was getting The Witcher vibes with this like foggy, spooky forest that, again, is visually unlike any other landscape or planet that we've seen in this show. I was getting Game of Thrones-y vibes from the gates leading into the city. Like, I just love, like, all of these vibes that I am getting, and the fact that I am like able to like watch these episodes and like obviously know that it's Star Wars and that it feels like Star Wars, but like able to pick up on these different things that they're doing and introducing that evoke like different moods that you wouldn't exactly predict would be like in a Star Wars show. Like, I just love the different, you know, routes they're taking and the different planets they're introducing and the different, you know, landscapes they're trying to build. Overall, clearly, I was a huge fan of this episode. This is like the most amazing thing ever. Again, like just watching it just felt like such an out-of-body experience. It really did not feel like real life, like, and I'm sure that's the case for like a lot of you guys, and I keep saying this, but I just was watching it and I was like, what did we do to deserve this? Like, what did we do to deserve this amazingness? Like, and I just couldn't wait to go and see other people mutually freaking out about it. Let me know if that was the same for you, if you felt like watching this episode was just an out-of-body experience. Like, it really just felt like worlds colliding, you know, with our beloved Ahsoka Tano coming into the live-action realm. Like, I really, like, when the rumors first came out that Ahsoka Tano was gonna be in it and Rosario Dawson, you know, was gonna play her, like I always say to you guys, I don't believe anything unless I hear it from a Lucasfilm employee's mouth or unless I see it play out on the screen. So I am so glad that, you know, it wasn't a rumor leading nowhere and that this is just like a dream fulfilled for all of us. I feel like just one huge mutual dream, and that's just what it felt like watching this episode. Like, it just did not feel like a real life experience at all, and I'm just so eternally grateful to Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, the costuming, designing, and, you know, Rosario Dawson, just everyone who made this like possible. And again, I hope that the positive feedback and the overwhelmingly excited reception of, you know, Ahsoka Tano in live action will inspire Disney or, you know, the filmmakers to branch out and give her her own series, or like just have her incorporated more in the future. I again want to apologize for not reacting to this one. I know I had said that I would try, but at the same time, like I always say, I kind of want to enjoy just watching the episode and not feeling, you know, pressured to have a good reaction for you guys, because a lot of the time I just kind of watch with my like jaw dropped, so that wouldn't be very fun to like see for, I don't know, 15 minutes of me reacting to Ahsoka Tano or something like that. So I apologize since I kind of hinted that I might do a reaction to this one, but I just wanted to enjoy it, so I hope you guys can understand. I'm sorry, but I of course wanted to share my thoughts and debrief about how amazing it was and just publicly praise Rosario Dawson. Such a queen, such a boss. She's so beautiful. She was so amazing. I thought she looked fabulous and that she did an incredible job, and her performance was great, and I really hope that this is not the last time that we will see her on screen as the wonderful Ahsoka Tano. Alrighty guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and listening to all of that. If you did, I really appreciate it. I promise this is going to be the last video that I film in front of this couch, and I will be back in my studio again when I see you guys next, probably. So thank you for putting up with my lack of usual background for these past few videos. I hope that you guys had a wonderful and safe and happy Thanksgiving with your families if you celebrated. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. Also, I promise I'm not just gonna be doing these like Mandalorian review videos and nothing else. I promise I have other stuff on the way. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. May the Force be with you guys always. I hope that you are all doing so well as always, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.